about it.
Right.
Because, matter of fact, let's get Corinthians 10 and 13.
Yep.
Because we're all going through temptations. But the reason we not crashing out is through Yahweh Bashem Al Shai Bashem Kodash. Because imagine what you know now, but not having the truth or the light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh man.
You be one of those.
Yeah.
You be one. You know. So hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem HaKadosh. That is the true name of the Heavenly Father through the true name of the only begotten Son. And you have to be fully baptized and immerse yourself in those names, especially in the times that we're in. All right. And I also want to say double honors to our elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well and teach well, who we learn this truth from through prophecy of the Holy Spirit. All right. And we also want to say peace and salutations to Lord's beloved elect, the predestinated, Bayath Dawadah, the house of David, which also consists of men, women, and children, with the standing government body of the 144,000 elect Israelite men, 12,000 from each tribe. All right. And if you didn't know, we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and those scattered abroad. And the reason why I mention so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans specifically is because according to the prophecy in Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, the valley of the dry bones is where there will be a plank or a sign given for the lost tribes to walk by and inquire about their byword nation that they've been given now and equated to their biblical nationality coming from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, so this is ancestral and covenantal, okay? So you cannot enter in to the covenant given to Israel just because you come from Abraham, all right? So we want to let that be known.
I got that because you mentioned it just now.
Yeah.
The plank.
Yeah.
This is the book of Ezekiel 37 and verse 17.
Perfect.
I'm going to start at verse 15. It says, the word of the Lord came unto me saying.
Yep, the word of the Lord came unto me, okay? Not man, not a seminary school.
Yep.
That's why Yahweh Shai, if you want to get it, Kraut Zaba, Yahweh Shai said, bless the Father, for he's not giving this to the wise, but to the babes. I think it's Matthew 28 and 22, or 22 and 28. Now, I don't have the new covenant fully in me, so I don't remember it verbatim, but I'm aware of that saying Yahweh Shai said, okay? So keep going.
And it reads, verse 16,
That's why we're
moreover,
under grace.
right, moreover, thou son of man,
Let me know you got it, brother.
take thee one stick,
Right, one stick.
and write upon it,
Yep.
for Judah and for the children of Israel.
Now, the Mormons, is it the Mormons? Yeah, the Book of Mormons. You know the CIA prefers Mormons for enlistments?
Oh, right.
Specifically because they live a sober-based, simple life.
Wow.
So they're like easily trainable.
Wow.
But anyways, that whole Mormon shit is wicked. But, excuse me. But the Mormons' doctrine is they believe that that stick is the Book of Mormon.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that
But
before. Yeah,
when you go into the blue letter, that stick, it goes into a plank or wooden plank. All right, so that right there, one scripture cuts this whole generational lie of deception of a religion that you know as Mormonism.
Yep.
All right, then they got to wear Pampers, you know?
Yeah.
Then I think they send like their women out, which is like temple whores.
Yep.
They send women out. Then they send Edomite men out into low poverty areas to recruit the true children of Israel to an indoctrination of falsehood. And I got the Mormons to admit that I was a Gadite. Where is it, brother?
28.
Let me see. No, keep going.
Actually, how's it go again?
I got it.
Because you can search it up.
Yeah, because I want you to put in Google.
Yeah.
Put in Google Jesus, because that's what I do.
Right.
I use the shit out of Google.
Real.
Let's keep going, please.
Yep, gotcha.
Just
Back in Ezekiel 37 and verse 16, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it, for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick.
Matthews 11 and 25.
Excuse me. Then take another stick.
Yep.
And write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim.
Right, because Joseph is interchangeable with Ephraim. That's why you see that in Rev 7. You know,
Right.
because Ephraim basically replaced the stead of Joseph.
Yep.
That's why Jacob put his hand on Ephraim and Manasseh, but Manasseh was the firstborn. But what Jacob did is what happened between Jacob and Esau.
Right.
So he put his hand on Ephraim and said, no, Ephraim's going to be the head for the north, like Judah's the head for the south.
Right.
So now that's why we got a stick that has the northern and southern, but in the kingdom of heaven, which will be on earth, it's going to be a united kingdom.
Right.
Okay? You know how beautiful Ephraimite babies are when they get with a Judite woman? They're beautiful, bro. I said, damn, you put the T in Taino. You know what I'm saying? They're beautiful. So even when we intermarry amongst our nation, the fruit that comes from it is amazing, man.
Yeah, sweet.
I always say that.
We have beautiful children. Look at us. I mean, you get some ugly. Hold on, my bad, brother. You get some ugly babies, you know, but for the most part, a lot of Israelite children come out very precious.
Yeah.
They look pure. Their hair, their eyes, you know, it's really it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You got that Matthew 11, brother?
Yes.
Let me see that, and then we could build off. Cause you said you had point two. Cause we all have experience amongst our people.
Matthew 11 and 25.
Yes.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 25.
Yeah.
At that time, Yahushua answered and said, I thank thee, O Father,
Right, like
Lord,
us. Yep.
Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent.
Right, like what? The seminary school.
Yep.
The Chat GPT. We're making Chat GPT. I had a conversation with this because it's just a code. When you look at Chat GPT, it's a wizardry program that reads codes and interprets it in a human-like repetitive motion based off your interaction.
Yeah.
So it's a repeater.
Yep.
It's a data eater, and then it processes and projects predictions.
Right, exactly.
So
right.
I had ChatGPT admit that that through Paul's letters, with Paul admitting that the seed of Abraham had to be through Isaac, proved that the Gentiles in the New Testament were Israelites scattered because of the curse of Deuteronomy 28. So even ChatGPT said, well, through the conclusion, outside of mainstream Bible belief, this is an understanding that would be correct, but it's classified as a Hebrew Israelite doctrine.
Wow.
But even it admitted that the Gentiles in the New Testament are us.
Wow.
So we're making even the wise of this world conform to truth,
Wow.
you know?
Yeah.
So please keep going in that.
Okay. That verse 25. Thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent.
Which is what? Colossians 1. The mystery has been hidden from ages, but it's now been given to the initiated.
I'll get it real quick.
Us, you
Right.
know, this is that mystery. The 12 tribes chart. Like what tribe do you identify as?
Benjamin.
Boom, that's a mystery. I thought Benjamin was just someone's name.
Right.
So finding out about Gadites, Israelites, those are mysteries. Then finding out you are a part of it. Like last night I was watching Hebrew Israelites on Jerry Springer. That was like 1994. So at that time, it seemed like just another crackpot doctrine. But look at it now in 2025.
Yeah.
You know? You got that Colossians 1:26?
Yep. Colossians 1 and 26.
This is what it means. We get, through thy precepts, we get understanding. See, we don't just read one scripture from the whole chapter.
Right.
No, we bounce around because that's how the Bible's written. It goes from this, then it goes flashes to 2 years later.
Here,
Here a little, there a little.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
Colossians 1 and verse 26. Even the mystery
Boom.
which has been hid from, it said hid.
Yep.
Hid from ages.
Right. Like when you look at it, you got to think about the times of us in chattel slavery. Even the mystery about the Gentiles being Israelites. Sir and Jakes had an issue with that, but they weren't applying Deuteronomy 32, where it says, "I'm going to provoke you to anger, Jeshurun, who acts fat by a foolish nation." We're that foolish nation,
Right.
but the Lord said He chose the foolish of this world to confound the wise. So who's the wise right now? The one who's been controlling the narrative in media, Esau. So now that generic BS, boring, bland doctrine of Christianity with the emphasis of the Bible has now been completely decimated, even by your average Israelite camp. You know?
That's right. And it reads.
And they be diligent too. There's a spirit even on t-shirt fringe Israelite camps to biblically beat people down
Yeah.
with the doctrine. And they do. They are well equipped to handle mainstream Christianity.
Oh yeah.
You can admit that. Now, when it comes to the deeper understanding, certain prophecies of revelations, the Lord only gave that to his initiated.
Right.
Ultimately being starting what we believe through faith, our elders, and then on down. Even like how their elders. How did we get the 12 tribes chart? High priest Ariah was inspired to create that.
Yeah, that's heavy, man. Colossians 1:26, even the mystery which have been hid from ages.
Now, years ago, we were doing a Hebrew class. And if the Lord put on our spirit, we'll start it up again. But pretty much I had showed, this brother was there, so he's my witness, if this was court. I had showed a comparison to ancient Israel and where the tribes' lands were in comparison to North and South America. And if you flip them, they literally are almost identical in their regions.
I remember.
And if you in Judah, you know what I mean? You'll look at it. Of course, it's not spot on, but it's what we would say. Oh, that's spiritual.
Right.
It's spiritual that where Jake is identified today in North and South America, it almost mirrors ancient Israel when we were given our land back then. So we take little spiritual things like that and run with it. That's because it's our right. It's our culture. That's our right. You got to start understanding you got rights. You got rights as an Israelite. You're under grace, and you got rights as a Roman citizen.
Yep.
You got rights,
And it says,
and we're using them.
oh yeah,
We're using them
through the Lord.
through the Lord. You can use
Apostle Paul
ChatGPT.
used them.
You can use ChatGPT as a lawyer. You can use ChatGPT as a legal advisor. You can use ChatGPT to document a legal formal paper.
For real. It's like a second brain,
It's like it's like how it's basically if you wanted to create a corporate business, you could create one office for HR department, one for finance, accounting, marketing. That's what you call. That's why it's called a corporation. A corporation is a collective of body parts coming together as one. Like we are a body, but you may be the bicep. I may be a pinky. You might be the eye. We're all a part in the office. So that's just like, that's the Father's business.
Yeah.
Even when you look at the comparison of the modern day U.S. courtroom setup, it's modeled in the manner of the ancient temple. Like the porter, that's the bailiff. The judge, that's the high priest. The clerk is the scribes. The ultimate judge for America will be like the state or the Congress. And for us, that's Yahweh.
Yep.
See? So this is court. So and the priests will be like what? The persecutors.
Right.
Or the defense attorney. And in ancient times, when you would go to court in our system, you get to defend yourself. That's why Yahweh Shai said, take no thought when you shall be brought to them. Because I'm going to defend you. We already got a lawyer. Yahweh Shai is our lawyer. So that's why we be getting certain information of ways how to handle ourselves. Of course, even with when they accuse us of rape. We broke that down systematically. But let's keep going.
Back in Colossians 1:26.
I'm hot today.
It's a little hot. It says, which have been hid from ages and from generations.
Just like this information now.
Yeah.
That's why Daniel.
Yeah.
We're in the age of information. Keep going.
But now
and we're being renewed day by day. I'm sorry, brother. I'm rapid fire. And we're being renewed day by day. So the mysteries that get hid, you don't know. Like, okay, another example is brother, my witness. I have something I gotta fill out, and then brother said, "Why don't you just do it now, so you're prepared for Monday?" Now my words exactly were what I said. I don't know what information I'm gonna get between now and Monday, so I don't want to do it too early. And sure enough, not even 8 hours later, the Holy Spirit just man,
open
bro,
up a whole.
Open it up.
Yeah, bro.
Open it up. And that's why you'll sit on a lesson, and then you'll get a new article. You'll get another precept. So we're in a time of edifying as much as possible.
But that's why Apostle Paul said, don't abuse the world, but use it.
Exactly.
We don't over abuse it. We don't overindulge. We use it to benefit not ourselves, but the church.
Yep.
Through Yahweh Shema Shai.
Yep. Did you know that legally, I'm not telling you brothers to go do this, but do you know legally your job has to allow you to have the Sabbath off for religious reasons? Because if they don't, that's a violation of your freedom of religion to the First Amendment. You didn't even see that? So we didn't even, so I bet IUIC does that.
Right.
Because that's why you get the Friday and Saturday. Because it would be Friday and Saturday though. But we don't celebrate Friday and Saturday. So we don't go after it. But these are things that Esau don't tell you you have the rights to. See? So there's a lot of shit that even Babylon's required legally to live by. You know? That's why we going back. Don't be suffering in silence. Stressing yourself out about bills and you could get a free program.
Yeah.
You know?
Real.
You qualify.
Yeah.
Then use AI. Well, can I qualify? Boom, 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 bam.
Real.
Then you got to deal with the wicked aspect of .gov. So it shows you the system's corrupt, but at least you understand the rights as a Roman citizen to alleviate a little bit of your silent suffering.
Yeah.
You know?
Real, bro.
Paul uses Roman citizenship
Yeah.
to go to Rome
Against Jake.
against Jake.
Wicked Jakes, man.
Yep.
Back in Colossians 1:26.
That's why Elder Pastor Har years ago said that we could bring IUIC up on litigations for claiming that we're rapists. That's illegal. See, so we live by the law. We live by the law of the land and the law of the Lord. Do you know that you could quote precepts? Do you know that the Bible is acceptable use of evidence in a courtroom? You could literally use the Bible. Hey, according to the Bible, I can't touch blood, so I can't clean this woman's restroom.
Yeah.
And if they violate that, that's a civil lawsuit.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
You see how there's things you gotta make. You got a lot more than you think out here, Jake.
Yeah, bro.
That's why the Lord said Esau furthered the affliction. We are free now. He can't legally call you a nigger no more.
Right.
He can according to freedom of speech, but then that could be a violation.
Especially in the workplace.
Yes.
Imagine if you get called a nigger on a work site. Oh,
Yes.
that's you know.
So all we're just saying is for brothers and sisters, like you got the Lord, man. Okay? You got Yahweh Shemel Shai, and the Lord is gonna get them. And that's why Esau got now with getting canceled. You know, but let's keep going. And the Jake is the most dangerous vessel on earth with this knowledge. You know?
And that's one thing too. Like on the other side of that coin, you got Jakes that don't know that, and they get too emotional and they get too real, and now you out of a job.
Yep.
Now you got fired.
Yep.
Now I got to escort you out.
Not knowing your boss just violated federal law.
Exactly. That's why a lot of Jakes. That's why Esau took advantage of and Jake not knowing.
Ignorance.
There you go.
Yeah. My people destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So we gained the knowledge of the Lord while also understanding the law of the land. But our elders been went into all that years ago, and they already told us, like we know, it's no point of you going into Black Law's dictionary. But the point is, if a situation happened, you may have more options than just putting a curse on them.
Exactly.
You know?
For real. That's what like a couple years ago, like our brothers was like pushing like, hey man, learn how to build a fire.
Yep.
Because the scriptures say you're gonna be pilgrims.
Yep.
So it's good to have knowledge like that in case you come into a situation.
And you don't act emotional.
Yeah. Back in Colossians 1:26.
Attacking carnality with spirituality.
It says, even the mystery,
Boom.
which have been hid from ages.
What the biggest mystery is this? The fact that there were Israelites. Esau knows he's Edomites. I was listening to the elder's lesson, and he was explaining, the elites know they're Edomites. To me, that's fire.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense. It's not that I'm doubting it, but it just goes to show you the mass level of finances that he's invested in deception to keep that being hidden. Like the other day, a matter of fact, it was yesterday. I was going into Deuteronomy 23, and Esau changed in the blue letter. For Deuteronomy 23:7, it says, abhor not an Edomite. That word actually is Assyrian or Armenian, if that's how you pronounce it, which is going back to Rebecca's lineage, Laban. So that's what that's speaking about, because I believe Laban is Abraham's brother or something. They're related though. See, but Isaac came from Abraham and Rebecca came from one of Abraham's relatives. So that's what Deuteronomy 23 is talking about. It's not literally talking about an Edomite, but even within that, the word abhor means like disdain. It don't mean how they're trying to word it.
Right.
You know, so you go into these words and understand these things. But my point is, so Esau, he changed that Strong's H, which I think it's like Strong H 130, but it's also Strong's H 131. So I screenshotted it, and when you know how when you click the blue letter and it shows you all the listings for that word?
Yeah.
Well, if you go all the way down, you'll find almost at the very bottom a precept in Kings where that same Strong's H for Edomite is Syria.
Oh,
Syria. So I screenshotted it.
Right.
Because he's funding to keep lying to you.
Yep.
Why are these Jakes, now that the mystery's been exposed, why are Jakes randomly on TikTok in their car screaming about Hebrew Israelites?
Yeah.
You know?
Right, exactly.
Because people are getting paid.
Yeah.
I had asked Google, can I get paid to come against the Hebrew Israelite doctrine? They said under certain offices, according to like the ADL or the SPL, whatever, you can get funded.
Oh, shit.
You can get funded to come against this truth.
Wow.
But Apostle Paul says, 2 Corinthians 13:8, you can do nothing against the truth but for the truth. So bring it. Let's read that Matthew 11 again, please. So bring it. Because we got the Holy Spirit. You think artificial intelligence can defeat the Holy Spirit?
Hell no.
We broke the code. You got it, bro.
Matthew 11:25.
Thank you.
At that time, Yahushua answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent and has revealed them unto babes.
Boom. We're the babes. That's why you apply meekness. You know, we're newborn babes. Because you've been woken up, but it's like, okay, you've been woken up 5 years, but how many years have you been under order?
Right.
How many years have you been in the spirit? How many years have you been under proper tutelage?
Yeah, bro.
So it's like, don't necessarily look at your carnal time in the truth as your validity to your rank in the spirit. You know? We still are learning, man.
Mm-hmm.
So
it said the spirit is renewed day by day.
Exactly.
You know? Like it's like an athlete. Like you think he's gonna get something down pat just like that.
And now
you gotta practice.
Right.
You know, even like MJ, you know, he didn't win his first championship till after, you know, a few years in the NBA.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like everything will happen overnight.
Right.
It can. But you know, through real life.
But phases.
Growth.
Because things did happen overnight. Like, I'm an Israelite.
Right.
But I didn't have certain breakdowns. I didn't.
Right.
So that's why it makes sense. Men were on journeys and walked and learned and waved from Macedonia. Like, come here to teach me. You know, that's what we do. When we go to lessons, you're like waving. I'm here to learn. You got a precept, brother?
Oh, no. Not
What
right
are you
now.
looking for?
Well, I was going back to what you said about how people get paid money.
Yeah.
I was going to go in right here. It says, basically, in the GNT says, basically, don't sell out for money towards your brother.
Wow.
So real quick, this is...
Or accept a bribe and judgment, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
There you go. Real quick, this is Sirach 7 in verse 12. It says, devise not a lie against thy brother.
I feel like we're in Mississippi.
Neither do the
like near a swamp.
Right.
I ain't never been to Mississippi, but I feel like it'd be like this.
It's light humidity right now.
Shit, I feel like
imagine going to Georgia.
Or be in the pulpit. No wonder why they sweat.
Man.
They be in a suit lying to you.
Yeah, bro.
We sweating and telling the truth. I'm sorry, brother. Read that again. That was my brief commentary.
I just want to get this real quick in the GNT.
All right.
Just real quick.
All right. Let's keep it going, though.
Yeah, keep going there, bro.
Did you have another precept?
No, that was it.
All right.
I'm sorry. This is Sirach 7 and where is it at? Okay, Sirach 7 and verse 12 in the GNT. It says, don't think up lies to tell about your friends.
Bearing false witness.
Don't tell lies at all. It never does any good.
Yep. There's no point in telling a lie.
Oh, right here, Slack. I'm sorry. This is
lying lips is an abomination to the Lord.
Right.
That's why even in Esau's court system, which you don't have to swear in the Bible, but because you can prove it in the Bible. See, did y'all brothers know that Esau is forced to use the Bible in the courtroom? It's just people don't do it. But going back to that point, if you lie on court, I think it's perjury, something like that. But that's a felony. That's an offense.
Yeah.
You get in trouble for lying. So think about the laws of the land and trouble you get for now compared to the laws of the Lord.
Right. I found it.
Good, because we're getting ready to govern society through the laws of the Torah. Now, I asked ChatGPT to give me a vivid description of how the Israelites would rule a society just based off the book of Deuteronomy. Bro, it broke it down. It said that nations will be able to serve under us as tributary servants, handmaids. It went in, bro. It basically explained how salvation's only for Israel, and we will be a hierarchy over the world and the nations within it.
Yeah, right.
All right?
It's even in our law in the book of Leviticus to have, heathen servants.
Exactly.
It literally is like you have servants from the other nations.
Then we're going to prefer certain servants, and then we can make certain contracts with people, like how the Gibeonites, they made a covenant with Joshua,
Yep.
because Joshua made a decision with them before the commentary. Before they said before he sought after the Lord, but basically they lied to him, so he made a covenant with them. But then when they found out the truth, he said, "Now you're cursed under me for hewers of wood and fetchers of water."
Right.
So we'll have certain Gibeonites in the kingdom specifically starting fire. You know,
Real quick, going back to that. This is Sirach 7 and verse 18.
getting water. You know,
Oh, right.
you know.
Sirach 7 and verse 18 in the GNT, it says, "Don't betray a friend for money." Going back to what you said about the Hebrew thing.
Boy, you got Alazar and Hakkah going back and forth about money right now.
Yep.
See, that's all I'm gonna say on it. We got bigger fish to fry and moving on. You got it, bro. But like you said, the main task is within that. That's Sakari feuding with themselves while Rome's after us. You got fucking Salaba and Tobiah complaining because we're rebuilding the walls, and you got niggas fighting like bitches over here on the side. You know how how bitches fight?
Well, Esau is sharpening that sword.
With heathens,
Man.
with Ammonites, with Moabites. And why did Salaba and Tobiah and Nahum too expect to build with Israel when we came back to the land? Because they were trying to use their Abrahamic ancestry. That's why it's specifically stated through Isaac, because we have ancestors that are next to kin, but they are not under the covenant to the nation of Israel through Jacob. That's what you got to understand, you know, and you're going to see it more. It's like they're like a cousin.
Right.
You know, it's like you the star and you made it to NFL, and here comes your drunk ass cousin,
Your second cousin,
and he gets to drink Pepsi while you on stage.
Right.
That don't mean this nigga name is on the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And just because you my aunt's son, don't mean you get covenantal rights of this contract.
Right. I'm the chosen one.
Right.
You know? Not you.
You got to understand that, brothers. We're gonna have social dealings with nations. We're a government. You got to carry yourself in a governmental business format. Okay, we have the laws, we have the brotherhood, we have the body. This is how we're handling things. And right now, we're courts in session. Yeah. So we're bringing all these prophetic allegations of contempt to let these nations know this is the judgment coming for you. But then we're gonna deal with you like this. That's why there's certain laws of how we handle other nations. That doesn't mean they're within the covenant. There never will be equal covenantal partners, but we'll be able to do business with them because that's how society runs.
Just like with King Solomon, he did business with the Hamites.
Thank you.
What's his name? Hiram.
Hiram.
You know?
So it's like it's monopoly. We're gonna have boardwalk, and you might get Oriental, nigga. You might get Oriental Ave and Bollock. You know, which monopoly is a high-level game if you want to understand how the business of Babylon works, and it's very educational to learn that, brothers, moving forward. But you got it.
Just to finish this off, this is Sirach 7 and verse 18. Don't betray a friend for money.
Nope.
Don't betray a real friend for all the gold in the world.
Exactly.
And that was it.
But then it says, friends shall fight like enemies. Okay, back to Colossians.
Got you.
Back to Colossians.
Water.
And then back to the initial precept. Oh, yeah, and we got to go back to Ezekiel 37, which is good because we're mentioning Nahum, so we'll go to Nahum 2 next.
All right. Back in Colossians 1 and 26, I'm going to start from the top once more.
Okay.
Even the mystery, which going to the word mystery, it says not confined to ordinary mortals.
Only
So
to the
it's
initiated few.
The water. So that's why you said earlier through the Spirit that even though you got T-shirt French Jakes going in about, the doctrine, but the Lord didn't give them, certain secrets and parables and breakdowns, through the Spirit.
Unless they're of the elect.
Right.
And then they will convert.
Right.
Because I was a T-shirt wearing fringe Israelite too.
Yeah.
I was too. To this day, I still own one. I think I gave you one of the shirts.
Yeah.
So I wear it ceremonial.
I read in the house.
But I had a brother in Great Millstone who told me on the way to court in 2016, he said, bro, don't go in there with your fringes on.
Right.
Now legally, can I? Yeah, but is that wise?
No.
No. You got to start applying wisdom, Jack. Come on, man. You make me want to throw this water at you. Like, you gotta take the raw essence of wisdom and apply it to your situation, your culture, while behind enemy lines.
Seriously.
Even King David, it says we're smitten with madness, But King David applied that being like he was crazy
Yeah.
to get him out of a situation.
And that's wisdom.
People do that right now in a court. Do they plead insanity?
Yeah.
That's wisdom. That crazy ass nigga was smart. You know?
And that's why having wisdom is so important.
You know what Jakes do in jail? Certain Jakes claim to be Jewish so they get a better meal. Learn how to play this
That's
system,
wisdom.
man.
Right. You don't see Clark Kent wearing, he don't got his cape on in the office.
And he be humble with it too.
Yeah.
Which is the craziest part.
You know?
That's why we can't have that power right now, because I fuck around and show my hand. There's a roof there's a hole in the wall. I'm like, my bad, Carlos. I got mad. You know what I'm saying? You at work. Esau got bright burned.
Right.
It can't happen that way. That's why Yahushua said, you don't know what spirit you in.
Right.
Because some of the disciples said that. He said, are you going to make fire come down right now? Get him.
Right.
Because I know that spirit. I'm like,
Right.
get their ass right now. But it's like, what? It's like the Lord would reply, me getting them going to do what for prophecy?
Right.
Prophecy is the main thing that needs to happen. So even in our own personal endeavors, we got to understand the task at hand is more important than personal situations, because it's business and it's not personal.
It's like when you watch the mob movies and like somebody, take your head off somebody without the Godfather's permission.
Yeah.
It's like taking vengeance in your own hands.
On a made man.
Right.
That's why they
right.
killed Joe Pesci in Goodfellas, because he touched Benny the Bats, who was a made man. You got to respect that hierarchy.
Yeah.
That's why we give double honors.
Yep.
So he just like another thing with mafia, if I was watching a video and basically there's like food etiquette. If he pours the drink in a certain way, everyone at the table knows either you can talk freely amongst this guy, or this guy's an informant, or he's neutral.
Damn.
See? There's a lot of information out here. All right, let's keep going.
Back in Colossians 1:26, and it says...
And what we're tasting is wisdom. This is
Right.
what wisdom tastes like, brothers. It tastes like protection. It tastes like confidence. It tastes like the ability to apply wisdom as the best weapons of war.
That's right.
Okay?
Oh, it says that. What's the Hebrews 6?
I got one,
believe.
Ecclesiastes.
Oh,
Well, you know.
Colossians 1:26. Even the mystery which have been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints.
Yep.
To
And we're the saints. We went in that last week.
Right.
We're going to go into it again. Psalm 50 and 5. We made a covenant. When you go into court, a covenant or a contract is basically evidence that solidifies a claim that your litigations will be met according to the standard of state law.
Yes.
So our covenant grants us our ability carnally, but we have it spiritually. Because do any of you brothers physically have the contract of the covenant, the new covenant?
No.
Do you even have a physical copy of the old?
No.
No, but you have records of it, and then you enact the required stipulations by drinking the wine, eating the bread. So we're putting ourselves constantly in the practice of what this contract binds us to. So we have legal right to salvation.
For real, man.
All right?
That's right.
We got legal right to salvation.
Yahushua, he's our lawyer.
Yep.
He's our mediator.
Yep.
It said that you can't get through me. He said you can't get through to the Father but by me.
Which is a lawyer.
That's right. There you go.
Which is what, you got anything, Kradazah?
No, but I was gonna say, when you go to court, you can't talk to the judge.
Boom.
There you go. At all.
Boom. Exactly.
You gotta talk to that lawyer. You can't talk to the judge.
Now, can you get Hebrews 3 and 1? But guess what? We could talk to the carnal judges
Yeah.
now, but we can't to we need Yahushua.
Yeah.
But why? Because Yahushua is our lawyer. He's our priest. This is a business, people.
Yeah.
You got to really start looking at it for what it is and understanding what you are as a nation. How can you claim? See, I'm getting excited. How can you claim to be a nation, but you have no monetary system? You have no laws that govern you societally.
Yeah.
You have to have a standing that. So this is us tapping into the governmental aspect of what it's like to be an Israelite, because we had what back then? What would be a modern day jury amongst us in our courtroom?
The priesthood.
The elders.
Right.
The elders. So elders, like camp heads, would get together, and that'd be a council. Then there'd be a matter brought, and they would decide what to do next for this in particular cause: suspension, mercy, grace,
Right.
exhortation. And then, because you're under grace, there's things that you may do that could be judgment of death. So you have to be separated from the body, you know? So you don't want to do nothing like that. You got that, brother? 3:1, I think.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 3, verse 1. Wherefore,
holy brethren, separate brethren, not just regular, degular Israelite brothers, not just t-shirt wearing fringes with dreads and my wife Mimi walking through Walmart, brother. Actual holy brothers, set apart brothers, Israel of God brothers, Israel of Yahweh brothers, you know?
That's right.
Keep going.
partakers of the heavenly calling.
And you're called brothers because through Yahushai's name, you've now become sons. That's why the Apostle Paul edified the brothers in Ephesians about that sonship through Yahushai now, so they could be accepted back in. Because you got to think Satan had to be messing with those Gentile Israelites like now. You could have brothers or sisters deal with Satan trying to say you're an Edomite, you know, or you're this. Like that's what they had to deal with. Like what if? Yep. So these letters were confirming the souls of Satan's what if to the true believers, you know?
Consider the apostles and high priests of our profession, Hamashiach Yahushai, who was faithful to him that appointed him, as also Moses was faithful in all his house.
Boom. So Apostle Paul just stated that Yahushai is a high priest as the stead of Moses in the priesthood, but because of the order of Melchizedek through the covenant made between Abraham and Melchizedek in Salem, that now solidified us in the kingdom to be under the priesthood of Melchizedek forever.
That's right.
That's the better covenant. That's the better promises, because that covenant, that contract don't come with curses, baby.
That's right.
See? You see? So you gotta learn the law. And look at that. Out of all the camps that we learn, but we live by the law. Are we not having a litigation right now?
Yes.
This is a legal matter. So that was the point. Now back in that, what you looking for their sons?
Yeah, but the sons.
It's not in 1. Grace been 2, you've now become sons.
It may be.
Or it might be John 1. It might be John 1.
John 1?
Yeah, it says, well, let's just Google it.
Okay.
Let's Google it. It says,
I keep going while you do that.
under the name Jesus, you are now sons, KJV. See, I trained AI to say Yahushai, but Google got to catch up. Let me see. You can, you know what, just use John, 1 John 3 and 2. I'll read it, I got it right here. Let's just read 1 John. It says, 1 John 3 and 2, NIV. Dear friends or brothers, now we are children of Yahweh. See? So sons. Because it is verbatim, and a brother could post it. But the precept he read about, what was it? You brothers? Yeah, brothers, and you're brothers because you're sons.
Yep, Hebrews 3:1.
Yep. It says, and what we will be has not been yet made known. So we haven't been given the full validity of what we're gonna become soon.
Right.
Spiritual, celestial, and terrestrial.
Yep.
God-man mode. Okay, so we haven't been given that fully yet because we're still under chains of darkness. So we're seeking the Father in spirit and truth, which is acceptable by Him. Okay, which the evidence was given to us by the statement of Yahushai. This is why you need to read Yahushai's words. He's giving you evidence verbatim of what the Father is saying He wants you to do. And it says, but we know that when Hamashiach appears, we shall be like Him, for we shall see Him as He is. Just like Yahushai is an acceptable son, here's my son who I am well pleased. Now us Israelites coming back through the blood of Yahushai under contract by law will now be legitimate sons adopted back. That's legal.
Can I read it in the NLT?
Yeah.
Hebrews 3?
Yeah.
This is Hebrews 3:1 in the NLT. And so, dear brothers and sisters.
See, and the sistren, and you sisters too. You in there with us, because you Israelites too. Keep going.
Who belong to the Most High are partakers with those called to heaven. Think carefully about Yahushua, whom we declare to be the Most High's messenger and high priest.
You're right, there it is. What you got, brother?
Real quick, this is Ephesians 1 and verse 5. It says,
you find it?
No, but this is a good precept though.
Okay.
Ephesians 1 and verse 5, it says, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children,
boom,
by Yahushua Mashiach to Himself, according to the good pleasure of his will, to the praise of the glory of his grace, wherein he have made us accepted in the beloved, in whom we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins, according to the riches of his grace, wherein he have abounded toward us in all wisdom
John 1
and
12.
prudence. And it says,
read that again, please.
yes, it's a lot in here.
Baba Kasha, we got to read that again.
Yeah.
So the precept we want is John 1 and 12. Kratazaba, you read that first, and then
Okay.
we'll focus on this matter, and then we'll move over to Ezekiel and maybe Nahum to solidify what's sanctified for us now as sons.
Right.
Because remember in the time of Nehemiah, you had to have actual registry.
Yeah. Or else you couldn't get in.
You were covered by the blood.
Yeah.
What Benjamin said, the blood of Jesus covered me.
Oh, yeah.
The blood of... He's
right, though.
He was right.
He just got the wrong name.
He's got a zeal. 1 and 12, brother.
This is the book of
That's
John,
what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
1 and 12. But as many received him,
See him, Yahushai.
to them gave he power to become the sons of the Most
There
High,
you go.
even to them that believe in his name.
Boom.
In his name.
So having the name and then drinking the yayan at Passover to represent the bloodshed in his name for us allowed us to be adoptable back to the Father for the remission of sin.
Right.
Because in Romans 9, Apostle Paul reiterates the acceptable adoption that the Lord now has created through the prophecy of Yahushai's crucifixion. That's why the word adoption in the blue letter means acceptable, Israelites accepted back to Yahweh.
Right.
So that adoption is a legal grafting in. That's why Apostle Paul quoted Jeremiah 11 and Romans 11. So when Christians foolishly use the grafting in, they're not reading the fine print for their. So basically, if we go to, could you imagine in a courtroom and we had Edomites come in and try to legally present their case? They would get confounded.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
They would get confounded. I would be in the stand pointing them like that one Jacob the meme.
Yeah.
You know that meme?
Yeah.
Snitching. Where we at?
I got that. You just quoted it, actually. This is Romans.
That was it,
I
right?
also have Ephesians too.
Okay. Yeah, we got back to that.
Romans 11 and verse 16. For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy.
This is Apostle Paul quoting. He's quoting Jeremiah 11. When you look at these precepts, you have to look at them like how in a courtroom, a lawyer will say, well, judge, according to subsection B, Penal Code 3.1013,
Right.
or citing a case, that's how we're citing to prove our case. They do that right in the law.
Yeah.
They have codes or violations, however you legally term it, okay? So however they babble. But the point is, those same laws that they bring up in court are the same way we bring up precepts in our court.
That's right.
So you got to have the precepts. That's why it's simple, you know?
Back in Romans 11 and 16, and if the root be holy, so are the branches.
Yep.
And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou being a wild olive tree,
Which was us, we were also in Hosea. Matter of fact, can you go to Hosea 8 and 8? I think it said Ephraim was like a wild donkey.
oh wow,
It says in Isaiah, we're wild bulls in a net.
yeah,
So we're wild,
Yeah.
you know? I know I've had my fair share of being wild, because just living coming from that Gentile
Yeah.
life.
you still being,
Purged.
Yeah,
You still go through things so you can have a chance to have a different reactionary option.
yeah, bro. Go look up on YouTube and look how a golden bracelet is made. Look at that process.
Right.
Just for a bracelet.
Yep,
Yep. The gold gets beat. It gets put into that fire. And it still got to get purified.
and molded.
Yeah. Oh, yep. All that.
You got it, brother? Romans 8 and 8 on the quick fly. You got the phone, brother?
Well, why he get?
No,
Why that
I was in the wrong book.
Okay.
I thought you said Hosea.
Yeah, Hosea.
Well,
Yeah.
why that brother getting that? I'm
Yep.
gonna finish this.
Okay.
Back in Romans 11 and 17, being a wild olive tree,
Which is us.
were grafted in among them, and with them partakers of the root and fatness of the olive tree. And right here is the precept, Jeremiah 11 and 16.
Oh, wow, no way. You there? Yeah, where we at? Yes, exactly. Yep,
Okay.
yep. Perfect, brother. So yeah, read Romans 8, and can you just start at just get Romans 8 and 8.
Hosea 8.
Hosea 8 and 8. My bad, slug it.
It's a lot of precepts.
Yeah, you got it.
Hosea 8 and 8. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure.
Boom. They're a vessel of no pleasure. They're surrounded by the Gentiles. This is why that contract. This is why this is so important to understand the legal aspect that Israel had to go through to be accepted back in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Now let's get back to our points.
Back in Romans 11 and verse
whoever made this book just proved my point.
Yeah, it's right here. The precept for Romans 11 and 17 is Jeremiah 11 and 16. And it says
so then what you would ask, brothers, so if you want to get them, right? So now you're the lawyer and the Christian is on the stand as burden of proof, and they mention the evidence of Romans 11. Then you state, then why is it mentioned that Paul is reiterating Jeremiah 11 because he's referring to the scattered Israelites abroad?
Right.
So how can you be grafted in? Just like how can a Christian be under the blood of Yahushua for an acceptable sacrifice of sin when that Gentile, as a Christian, never received the law to sin in the first place? Right. So it doesn't make sense. Basically, how are you claiming this insurance claim and you weren't in the accident?
There you go.
How are you claiming unemployment and you never worked at the fucking job?
Right.
Excuse me. See, that's why I couldn't be in a courtroom.
His name not even on the policy.
Right? You don't even have, there's not even work history at your job. But it's like they say, if you worked at this job from 92 to 98, you are eligible for a lawsuit settlement. So then you try to go in and try to get eligible for the benefits.
Right.
Then they find out your ass never even worked there.
Right.
So you can't get no benefits. And matter of fact, we're going to countersue you for fraud.
Yeah.
See, so they're fraud. They're fraudulent. They're hypocrites. They're liars. These heathens that are trying to claim ownership with us, that's fraud, bro.
Yeah.
So we're spiritually suing you.
That's right.
And no, we don't want money. Remember the Lord said, what you gonna pay me?
Right.
What you gonna pay me, Tyree?
Recompense.
Thank you.
Give me.
So no, we don't want your money. All right? We want your blood.
Yeah. In that scripture.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna do it.
Nope, the Lord is.
You know?
Jerry Springer say, so tell us how you want our blood. That's how Esau does it. He did. He said, tell us how you're gonna smash white babies.
Just like vocab.
Exactly, like that Amalekite.
And back in Romans 11 and 17, I still have that.
Yep.
It says, and with them partakers of the root and fatness of the olive tree.
Right, the root. They're partakers of Abraham's covenant, but because they go back to Isaac and Jacob.
Right. It says, boast not against the branches.
I bet we could look up some famous identity thefts of history, and they'd probably be edifying and compare it to our stolen identity.
Right.
And you could make a whole lesson out of that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, look, somebody legally. That's why Jake be trying to legally go through the prophecy. We don't need to go to him to fulfill, for those prophecies to be fulfilled. Prophecy says we're going to be delivered. Prophecy said he's going to be destroyed. We could reenact the courtroom in the kingdom if you want, but this is the necessary steps the Lord already set up. We don't got to go through no litigation legally with him to now, if breaking news in Michigan, Desmond is now legally an Israelite.
Right.
No.
Right.
No. Because what about the rest of our people? And what about prophecy of 2/3? And what about the 1/3 being delivered out of the fire?
A lot that plays a part. And it says, Romans 11 to 18, boast not against the branches, but if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee. Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off, that I might be grafted in. Well, because of unbelief they were broken off, and thou standest by faith.
But it said by unbelief, but that's because ultimately the Lord made us subject to vanity.
Right.
So you had portions of Jacob that were wicked, and then portions of Jacob that were righteous, which the Lord was separating even his people to show who he was dealing with amongst Israel. So he showed, I'm with David's lineage. You know, that's why lineage is so important even amongst our nation.
Right.
See?
Right.
Because certain covenants came out because of that.
Right.
King Solomon's kingdom, David being the king, you know, things of that nature.
And it reads, Verse
Because you got to think, okay, the Lord, this is the best way I'm going to try to explain this quickly. You got to think, if the Lord always set up a chosen people, what would be the process that he would go through for this chosen people? Well, one, it would have to be from a lineage. It would have to be of a certain lineage or certain man or men, and then them specifically. So first it was with Adam, out of the Adamites. Then I believe it went to Seth when the men began to call a name because Abel was killed, right?
Yep.
Then from there, it trickled down Eber or Ibar, I think Methuselah, and then you keep going, and it goes to Noah's father, then Noah. Then from Noah, it didn't go to Ham, it didn't go to Japheth, it went through Shem.
Right.
And then after Shem, I think I skipped a generation, but then that's how you got Abraham out of Abraham's sons.
Yep.
And then from Abraham's sons, it didn't just go to all of his sons. That's why Ishmael was denied. So then it went to Isaac.
Yep.
And then after Isaac was chosen, it wasn't just Isaac and his sons, it was specifically Jacob out of Isaac's sons, which included Esau, why Apostle Paul reiterated, though I hated thy brother Jacob.
Yep.
So the Lord created a chosen lineage through a designed ancestry.
That's right, bro.
All right?
Straight up.
And we're protected by contract. And that contract is solidified through the bloodshed of Yahweh Shai,
That's right.
who is a legal high priest to the nation of Israel. So now the nation of Israel can go before their God with legal representation.
That's right. Come on, man. Real quickly.
So these Christians don't know what the mother and F they're involved in or talking about, man.
This is Galatians 3:16. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He said not into seeds as of many, but as of one, into thy seed which is Hamashiach.
Right, which went to what? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? All right, so we done with Ephesians? We're done with Romans. The point was made with that.
Back in Ephesians.
If you want to get a little bit more in Ephesians, but that point was made too. But we could read that just to show a deeper meaning to even being chosen. You got some, brother? Okay. You could use that with the predestination to also show that ultimately this was the will of the Lord from the beginning, to create a chosen nation and then have his son as a savior to the chosen nation. And then in particularly out of the chosen nation, only a certain set or house of this nation would be prophetically delivered and spared to restart this nation back in the promised inherited land from the beginning.
There you go. Come on, man. Ephesians 1 and verse 5. Having predestinated us.
Woo! Jeremiah, when we going to start? You got to get it now.
Yeah, we was going to start with that.
You got to get it now.
Yeah, it makes so much sense.
So we've been predestinated.
Full circle.
Adon Ratazah. Hey, and there's days you feel like it and days you don't. Yeah, but it's best to feel like it instead of not. You know, because, you know, it's like almost, it don't hurt to try.
Yeah.
It don't hurt to put on as the elect. You know? It don't hurt, man. You know, just take that leap of faith. Step on that water. Step on that line, boy.
Step on that line. We're going to see who's who.
Yeah, that's it. Embrace it. Go to the throne of Yahweh Shemel Shai boldly with grace, man.
But that's what the Lord wants. You know, like the Lord wants us to believe in him for a reason.
Yeah.
Just like here on earth with a man and a woman. The man wants his woman to embrace him.
Yep.
Stroke his ego.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why they got this new that's true. You and sisters, your spiritual talent is gonna know how to stroke our ego. Meaning know how to keep us aroused.
Yeah.
You know,
Really?
for that God-man rod. That's how it's gonna play out.
That's how the Lord made it.
And right now, Jake, they got a white women saving black men from abuse skits going around, where white women are randomly finding abused black men. The Jake was in front of his car. It was all scratched up and saying cheater. This black Big Shirley was smacking a Jake. The white woman came and embraced him, and he put his head on her bosom.
Wow.
The other woman came and was picking him off the ground. So the Israelite man needs to be pampered.
There you go.
The Israelite man needs to be taken care of. You know?
Yeah, bro.
The Israelite man. All right?
Man.
And we're so good of a creature, we still be like, yeah, but it's shorty too. Because it's true, we love, but the woman is going to be benefiting from the Israelite man under contract.
Right.
You know?
Well, look at but that's the characteristic the Lord gave us, because he's like that.
Right.
It's like, you know, at one point the Lord wasn't dealing with us.
Yep.
And he sent his son Yahweh Shai to we got to go through him. So it's like, I'm going to still have mercy on y'all. Because it says, as his throne, so is his mercy.
Yep.
So it's like, come on. So really, it's a win-win for Israel.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So it's beautiful.
What a beautiful arrangement. A harmonious arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
It's so beautiful. Reconciliation.
There you go. That's why it's like here on earth, like a woman says to her man, please take me back, babe, please.
She should.
You know?
If she was in her right mind in today's time, 2025, that's exactly what she's going to do according to the prophecy of Isaiah 4:1.
There you go.
Gunshots.
Oh, shit.
Either Issachar's on a roof or that's a YN out the car roof.
Oof, yeah.
Like, drink juice in the hood, granny. Ah! Did y'all hear those gunshots?
Oh, that was gunshots.
Right?
Yes, bro.
All right, let's keep going. But we're in a secret place.
Welcome to Gloucester.
Yeah, yep. Welcome to Gloucester.
Jeremiah 1:4. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
Predestination. But we didn't get that knowledge until in the time of Ephesians. See how things were hidden and understanding had to play out? Now we collectively have all this information. So now even Jeremiah, who was a young man, was told that, hey, I knew you before you were formed in the womb. I didn't even know a relationship like that with who you call God existed.
Right, bro.
Christianity, you failed me.
Right.
You failed me. You lied to me. You were an abusive, bad, terrible lover.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
Yeah.
You were a terrible lover. You made me think that you rigged the mailbox, so I was scared to check the mail.
Yeah.
Like Sealy.
Yeah, bro.
Keep going. Right? Let's mention how Christianity failed us and abused us.
Man, it deceived us.
It deceived us. It lied to us. It turned us into worshiping men. It made us think that white people were collectively righteous.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man.
You made us think that all I was supposed to do was stand in this government-funded room while you play your fucking Garth Brooks guitar, you bitch.
Yeah.
Straight up, bro. I was up in that shit like, I'm
bro.
surrounded by white people and shit. Niggas, Pastor Mike, he's playing the guitar. He got this fat-ass son who married this fire-ass Jake woman. So that show you that Esau is able to get Eve's box based off self-identity because of the curses. And I'm talking fine. Super fine, bro.
Yeah.
And she was with this fat ass, like Seth Rogen nigga.
Oh.
And this was like 2010 when Deacon Akal was in the Benz. So I was still in the world, but I witnessed it in real time.
Man.
Us as Gentiles seeking God through the mind of Esau.
Yeah. For real, man. For real. That's why it says in Ephesians 4 that we're not longer tossed to and fro.
Thank you.
Between these doctrines.
All they did was sing to us and feed us.
That's it. Just like camps like IUIC.
That's all they did.
You know, every time when food is involved, Jake is ready to go.
Yeah.
Just like how Shai said, you're not following me because of me, because of of the food and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
And as a fun fact, I went with this church on a youth group field trip, and we went to Buffalo for a Christian convention that was filled with nothing but Edomites. You had fucking Creed on stage, arms wide open. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's in there. I thought I was feeling the spirit and shit. And what's crazy is I had demons mess with me in the hotel, and the Christians couldn't do nothing. I said, yo, I'm being messed with. I don't know what I do.
Wow.
And they gave me no sound advice.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyways, the train where it dropped me off is where I met the Buffalo Brothers when I came into the truth, bro.
Oh,
Remember,
wow.
we went out there.
Yeah, yep.
I went on that same train that they go for camp.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Like how Abraham already went to Mount, you know what I mean? Like when you read how they traveled, it's like, oh, Abraham was here. Jacob went here. And then we went there.
Right.
You know, it's like that kind of.
Full circle.
Full circle, as they say.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Call all y'all Bashimashai.
Bashimashai.
So we got testimonies. We have evidence to lay against you, man. You liar. That's why it says, where's the scribe? Where are you at now? You know?
Back in Jeremiah 1 and verse 5, excuse me. And it says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
I never knew that.
And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee.
So 2 precepts. Spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets. And then the second one is, I sanctified thee. I anointed thee to preach the gospel.
There you go.
That's why the gospel is so important. The gospel is like your coin-appointed lawyer against these demonic defense attorneys like IUIC.
Yeah.
Where's your fringes?
Yeah.
Then we get Yahweh Shai. Hold up. Where's your paddle?
Right.
Hold up. We got law on you. Let's go to
Right.
Deuteronomy. You're supposed to. Now, I was reading that law because Elder Pastor always says that. So when one of our laws, brothers, you're supposed to have a paddle. So when you go to the bathroom outside, like that's actually a law, but now we go inside, you're supposed to dig in the ground and cover what goes out of you.
Yeah.
But heathens were just having piles of this shit, like a dog backyard.
Yeah.
But the point is, while they hit you with a law, there's laws they got to be hit with. So that's what Yahweh Shai, that's what grace is. It's like our court-appointed lawyer through the Holy Spirit to defend us against them.
Wow.
You know?
Beautiful.
So we're defending ourselves, and our lawyer name is Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Bashim Rakakwadash. So
right.
now they're like, the name don't matter. So
Yeah.
then they try to legally get around it. That's why they only focus on numbers 15 and 38.
Yep.
So you got to flip it on them. What John Witherspoon say, you got to flip it.
Yeah.
Gotta flip it, brother.
Yeah.
You know? Flip it on them.
Back in Jeremiah 1 and 5, and it says, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
Boom.
Then said I, Lord, power, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord said unto me, say not, I am a child.
Like picture a child representing himself, case at law in a courtroom.
Right.
But it's funny. But in Esau's courtroom, he'll convict a 3-year-old so-called Spanish child.
He did it, right?
He did it.
Yeah, he did it.
So now imagine young Jeremiah amongst elders,
Man.
scribes. You know, I got to look into history. Well, I think the Pharisees started in 536 to 70 CE. So I just got to look in the timeline of when Jeremiah was on the scene. It's an easy Google, and you can figure out like how the operations of the temple work. But I will say one thing. It got to the point where they didn't allow Jeremiah in the temple.
Yeah.
So they had a problem with them being questioned. The Pharisees were more like, the Pharisees' jobs was to read the law and interpret it for the people, like how a lawyer, you'll tell him your complaint and he'll diligently inquire.
Right.
The Sadducees were more like the political, caring more about the temple aspect, you know, so they were in a different role.
Right.
And the Sadducees also didn't believe in a resurrection, but the Pharisees did. So even they had their own offices too, and of beliefs.
Back in Jeremiah 1 and verse 7. But the Lord said unto me, say not, I am a child,
Right.
for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee.
Right, like now. Say not that I've only been in the truth a year and I'm a newborn babe. Well, that's why the Holy Spirit gives you quick understanding according to Isaiah 11.
There you go.
So you got to understand that this is how the Lord works at times with prophets.
Right.
Where you're going to get right out there. You know, like I believe I learned in 2016 and I was out teaching by the end of 2016 leading 2017. But I sat and just absorbed and took everything in and highlighted and re-highlighted.
Ate the roll.
And kept eating, right?
right.
But then you got to keep eating it.
Yeah.
So now I go back and I reread highlights. Like it's all right, I'll go read this highlight. Go read this. You know, go back into it.
Right.
Don't just be like Genesis 1. You know,
Right.
don't be like KRS 1. In Genesis 1. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like sports. You know, it's like basketball, football.
Yeah.
Hey, run that same play.
Yeah.
No huddle. You know?
Right.
Run that same play. You
Oh,
know?
like basketball, it's like in-game practice.
Yeah.
Like you run, like you're sorry, some fly. Like you run and you shoot as if you were shooting in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like me, I would practice shooting a basketball, but in one spot. But
Right.
then you get in the game, you sweating,
Yeah.
you out of breath, and you ain't practiced that shot.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
It's even practices where the coach will have a team just for this whole session practice that one play.
Cone drills, right?
There cone drills,
Okay.
you know, anything.
So we'd be like,
You know?
we're just gonna focus on Daniel 7 right now.
There you go.
You know?
But that's why eating the roll is so important.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Repetition is key.
Yep.
Back in Jeremiah 1 and verse 7, verse 8, it says, be not afraid of their faces,
Yep.
for I am with thee to deliver thee, saith the Lord.
So you know they was mean mugging him, cussing at him, wondering if he could even, which I think Jeremiah comes from, it was a Levite.
Yeah, he's a Levite. Yeah.
See?
Yep.
So he has an office of priesthood. So how you not gonna let Jeremiah in the temple
Right.
when he's a priest
Right.
and a prophet? You know?
Yep.
So the Lord raised him up. You can skip down to verse 17 and 18.
Okay.
Because you can only imagine how Jake was treating Jeremiah. But Jeremiah was getting on him. He confounded the false prophet about the 2 years.
Yeah.
He was doing a lot. You know,
And-
but that just shows you how the Lord could turn you into a
Machine.
spirit where it says the mouth will consume him.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
Yeah. Just like you said earlier that he got exiled from the temple.
Yeah.
But then like Jeremiah sent Baruch to go read the scriptures for
The
him.
Lord raised up Baruch
Right.
to allow Jeremiah to give that letter to Baruch to send in. Then they burned the letter.
Yep.
So then he rewrote the letter. Like, your brothers ever do that? You get a lesson taken down, so you redo the lesson,
Right.
you know, or you try to. That's why I try to use choice words, because we've experienced so much years of videos getting clipped.
Yep.
And then you get suspended, or you get a strike. In the book of Kings, a prophet got struck too for teaching.
Yeah.
So we get struck now, you know?
Yeah.
So we're just in a technological age of ancient times. So that's why we got cell phones, tablets. We're using modern technology, teaching of an ancient doctrine that is past, present, and future.
That's right. Back in Jeremiah 1 and 17. Thou therefore gird up thy loins.
Gotta man up. That's why Deuteronomy 28:8. You can't be going to camp all afraid.
Yeah.
Now you fucking up the flow.
Because that spirit of fear can linger.
Because it's a spirit.
It can spread. It's contagious.
It's contagious.
You know.
That's why there's a Timothy's. He gave us not the spirit of fear.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's a real spirit, bro.
You got to make sure when you go to the line, brothers ain't afraid.
Yeah.
Are you good? You in the right spirit? You know, because you could have men come up and they got demons on them the whole camp.
Yeah.
The whole fucking camp. He's just demoned. Then you find out at the end of the camp they were plotting.
Yeah.
The Lord watches everything, man.
Yeah.
The Lord be watching everything. And the Lord shows that he says, touch not my anointed.
There you go.
You got men saying things against elders and apostles that end up in a bad way. I had an issue with a boss, and he came in the next day or so limping. Then I had an issue with my neighbor, and he broke his wrist. Now, I'm just saying. But I cried to the Lord about it. Like, this is some bullshit, man.
Yeah, bro.
You know? But I got serenity.
Yeah.
I got peace. Because I know what it's like to be angry. But I also like knowing what it's like to be happy. Real quick, brother.
I'm sorry.
To be at peace. Okay? You got to also learn to tap into the vibration of being at peace with what's happening right now. Having that serenity, knowing the light at the end of the tunnel, even though it's still fucking dark and it stinks and I don't want to be here, but I know that I'm going to be getting out of here soon. So that helps me deal with the current situation I'm in the spirit. That's how you attack your carnal situation you're dealing with. Okay?
Right. Now you said it. It's like it. Jeremiah 1 and 17. Thou therefore gird up thy loins and arise.
So that's manning up. You're manning up in the spirit. You're manning up as a man. You're taking what's going on the chin. You're keeping yourself locked in, studying. You're getting your history, information down. The Holy Spirit's feeding you. Your main purpose is going to camp and edifying, waiting to be delivered. You know? Keep going.
And it says, gird up thy loins and arise and speak unto them.
Deal with the shit you got to deal with. But you want to look at the shit as a glass half full. And like I said, it ain't always going to be like that. You know? You could be like, I know I'm getting a kingdom, but I'm still mad. You have the right to be. But you also have the right to not the wrath go down on your anger. So you like, you know what? Let me look in the scriptures for what I'm mad about. What's the Lord going to do for that? Right. So you mad, let's just say, you know, a woman situation right now, and you realize, okay, it says she's going to be a harlot. It says that she's going to trespass. So I got to understand it now. I got to understand the will of the Lord. So I'm going to pray that, and I'm going to pray to have peace, because I know in the end, I'm going to win. Isaiah 4:1, in the power they should be willing. So you're actually applying the precepts so they're applicable to your situation. So now you pray so those laws can be installed in you, or the spiritual precept can be washed over you, so you can get a baptism of peace through the name of Yahweh Shai. So it's like just like taking something off the shelf and ingesting it. So take that precept and spiritually ingest it, you know?
Yeah. And it says, verse 17, it says, be not dismayed.
She look, niggas reading.
Oh, wow.
But I'm cool with that, because we still Jake, though. You know what I mean? Like, you could, like they always say, the women are attracted to the Israelite men, you know? So you see them, oh my gosh, look at them. Honey, look at them. All right? Keep going.
Jeremiah 1 and 17. it says, and speak unto them all that I command thee. Be not dismayed at their faces.
And you know they're gonna be, yeah, nigga, blah, blah, blah. We had Jake, everybody, we're young brothers, but we got elders, been doing this longer than we've been alive. So there's stories for stories. But for our experience, we had Jake shoot stuff at us. They rolled up on camp and wanted to fight. But the spirit was on us a little different years ago.
Yeah.
But I remember in the spirit, we would challenge that aggression, you know? And they would get confounded. They would get confounded. So now imagine what Jeremiah had to deal with.
Man.
And these are wicked niggalites that know their law and still being evil.
And it says, lest I confound thee before them, for behold, I have made thee this day a defense city and an iron pillar and brazen walls against the whole land, against the kings of Judah, against the princes thereof, against the priests thereof, and against the people of the land.
Boom. So now jump to Nehemiah 2. So now we have protection while we're building. The word building is interchangeable with the word edification, edificio. So we're building, meaning edifying, because we're the third temple now. But in the time of Nehemiah, he was sent back through prophecy to restore the walls of Jerusalem, and they had issues with that. So people have issues with the fact that you are building now. People have an issue that you want to be who you're commanded to be. That's offensive to me, you know. You're demonically mad because I'm now know the truth, you know.
What verse you want?
Start at 1.
Okay.
Ooh, see, look, but that was a nigga woman driving that way. You hear? She's arguing with somebody else while we're tucked away safely.
Right.
All right.
Nehemiah 2:1, and it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of Xerxes the king.
See, the 20th year of Xerxes, which is the prophecy. What prophecy? Okay, actually, what book gave the prophecy that Xerxes would allow us to rebuild the second temple? What book is that found in? Nope, because you got to think of the timeline. Daniel went from the well, that's a good actually guess, because Daniel went from Babylon to the Persians and Medes Empire. So that's a good guess. But I'll tell you, it's in Isaiah. So Isaiah prophesies during the Assyrian captivity that Xerxes will be set up as the Mede, I believe, to allow us to restore our kingdom back, our temple back. So that's good information to know.
It is.
You know?
That's history.
So the Lord used the heathen king to give us license. Like how the Lord used the heathen king in America to give us freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of public assembly.
Yeah.
This is camp, people. We're legally protected right now. This is why we legally could call the cops if a Christian came up and interrupted our legal religious service.
That'd be harassment.
Exactly. And many other penal codes.
Yeah.
Which could be a lawsuit if you want to take it further. See how the Lord has given us all this protection?
Right.
You know? So this is us throwing the book at them.
Yeah.
That's when you want to know to throw the book at them, when you hit them with every single violation code and law that you can.
Yep.
As they say, throw the sink at them.
Back in Nehemiah 2 and verse 1, it says, in the 20th year of Xerxes the king, that wine was before him, and I took up the wine and gave it unto the king. Now I had not been before time sad in his presence, wherefore the king said unto me, why is thy countenance sad, seeing thou art not sick?
Right. So the king is wondering what's wrong with you.
Right.
You're in a good position, but his people ain't good.
Right.
This is why in Hebrews, Moses, if you want to grab it actually, if you don't got none, can we get Hebrews 11:24?
Yeah.
Get Hebrews 11 and 24.
Yeah.
Let's get Hebrews, I think it's 24,
Around
26.
there. Yeah.
But basically, Moses left his role or stead of a high status amongst a heathen nation to be with the poor of his people. So Nehemiah was in a good position, but his spirit wasn't right because nationality, on a national scale, his people weren't good. That's why Jake called them a sellout.
Yep.
Because you sold out, we still jacked up. You got it, brother?
Hebrews 11. Yeah, Hebrews 11.
24?
Yep. I keep going real quick. Nehemiah 2 and verse 2, it says, wherefore the king said unto me.
Are you using a KJV app?
Yeah.
Which one are you using, the blue letter or?
Now you got the one with the Apocrypha.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you go to the side, the sidebar, it tells you the book, the Bible glossary.
Yeah, go to Hebrews 11 and 24.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got it.
All right.
You ready for me to read?
Come on, brother.
Hebrews 11 and 24. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the sons of Pharaoh's daughters.
See, he refused to follow the role where you could just be a rich Jake in the suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
You could just be LeBron. You know, keep going.
Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasure of sin for a season.
So what, Nate, why are you living this lofty life? Why are you choosing the high life though? I understand the opportunity is there, or the demand because of the laws, and you've gotten a certain income, but then within that, I don't know their money, but then it would seem that should trickle to the church of y'all. So everybody, he's good, they're good. I'm not saying they don't, but there is a presented high life of success, carnally, financially, that IUIC is promoting to people. Why are you doing that? Look at us. We bought our own garments.
Yeah.
You know, which I'm looking to buy a new one. I got to find if there's sisters that make them. But look, we're in a side road. We got to get a new tripod.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just doing the will. You know, sincerely. We're not using this as a financial grab or gain.
Yeah.
Is basically.
Even in the book of Acts, they put the money together.
Exactly.
But then they broke bread with each other.
And that works. You put your money together, and you're in a situation. You know, the camp, they figure out something, and bam, what you need, you got it now.
There you go.
You got it, brother.
Esteeming the reproach of Hamashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward.
Perfect. Was that it for 4? For 24?
That was
I think-
26.
Okay, that's the point.
Yeah.
So the point is, even Moses stepped down from a high position of finance, wealth, or success, the easy road, if you will. Because Moses was looked at as like a president in Egypt. Yeah, he was up there because he came under Pharaoh's daughter's son.
Yeah.
You know, like Joseph.
Right.
Like Joseph did. You know?
Pharaoh told Joseph, he said, nah, you gotta stay with me.
It wasn't until really, of course they're heathen, they're wicked, but it wasn't until the evil Pharaoh rose up that we got enslaved, which was just a prophecy. So it wasn't like Egypt was wicked. It was the nation of Mitzrayim, but it was in particular Pharaoh that's heart got hardened to cause that 400 years of oppression.
Right.
You know?
It reminds me just like with the Greeks. Alexander wasn't, wicked per se.
Yep.
Because he didn't treat us like, the Epiphanies, was it the 4th?
The 4th though.
How he did us.
Yeah.
Just
He
like fucking Hellenized us.
Abraham did free us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? even though he stated something else, Esau.
Yeah, you see, I'm like-
Esau's a GTA side mission life.
Yeah.
That's all he does, bro. Esau's just a side mission guy. But anyways, let's,
to Nehemiah.
yeah. Thank you, brother.
Back in Nehemiah 2.
And then we'll read a little bit down probably to 3, and then you can jump to 17, really.
Okay.
Because it's going to go into it. Because first the king gives them permission to rebuild because of the prophecy, and then this is the reaction of neighboring nations that are even close to kin to us, how they react to that. So you got haters, man. You got people hating. It's like basically you got people that look at how LeBron looked at Kawhi Leonard when he came on the court.
Back in Nehemiah 2 and verse 2, it says, wherefore the king said unto me, why is thy countenance sad, seeing thou art not sick? This is nothing else but sorrow of heart. Then I was very sore afraid.
See, so we have sorrow of heart, but now we have these prophecies, this Holy Spirit. So we have knowledge now to answer our sorrow.
Yeah.
We have knowledge now to answer why we're angry. We have the answer to the question. We have the answer to the question, man.
Yeah.
And that's where you got to start applying more for when you have the emotional re-answer, to the question you already know the answer to.
Right.
There we
go.
Like, you know what? Man, I already know the answer.
Right.
So it's about you choosing to use the right answer in that situation.
Yeah.
You know?
That's wisdom.
Yeah, because
You know?
sometimes you won't. You know, there's times in the past I chose the wrong answer for my own personal, because you still being purged, you know? It's like, instead of saying, excuse me, sit the fuck out the way.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever literally did that, but in an example, you'd be like, you know what, I shouldn't have said it like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all about growth. It's all about growth. I thought I could, you know, do this and do that, and the Lord will humble you and show you like, no, you're sick. You need a physician. So you learn, you know, you learn your own limits and growing within those limits. Knowing your talents, knowing your strong points, knowing what's evil for you, knowing what's your low points. That's how you get better. Accepting like, you know what, my handle's not as good, which would be what, like your patience. All right, no, so you work on those things, you know?
For real. Back in Nehemiah 2 and verse 3, and said unto the king, let the king live forever. Why should not my countenance be sad when the city, the place of my father's sepulchres, lieth waste?
So he's explaining to this king how he's giving him soft words about his rulership, but he's like, but my own people are fucked up right now, man. So Nehemiah is creating a narrative with ultimately prophecy fulfilled of the restoration of the second temple being rebuilt. And that is what we're reading right now. That's history, you know?
That's right. And it reads, says, when the city, the place of my father's sepulchres, lieth waste, and the gates thereof are consumed with fire, then the king, he said, going to 17 after read 3, right?
Yeah, but if there's a little more of context, you know.
Okay. Verse 4, then the king said unto me, for what doest thou make request? So I prayed to the power of heaven, and I said unto the king, if it please the king, and if thy servant have found favor in thy sight, that thou wouldest send me unto Judah, unto the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may build it.
Right, like what it say, I will save the tents of Judah first.
Right.
See? So we're literally reenacting prophetic journeys, you know?
Verse 6, and the king said unto me, the queen also sitting by him, for how long shall thy journey be?
So he's requesting time off.
Right.
But he has the legal right.
Right.
You have legal right, you know? Stop being mad at work like, man, I couldn't go with the brothers.
Right.
Man, you better fucking use some sick time.
Yeah.
You better find out if you got PTO according to your business policy.
Yeah.
Stop being spiritually lazy. There's a lot of things that can be answered legally.
Yeah.
You know? Like, oh shit, I got 5 days of sick time.
For real.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be in for the next 2.
Yeah. You better look in that pay stub.
Yeah. And they're legally required to give you it.
They have to. And it says, verse 7. I'm sorry, verse 6. And when thou shalt, and oh my bad, Slakia. Nehemiah 2 and 6. And the king said unto me, the queen also sitting by him, for how long shall thy journey be? And when wilt thou return? So it pleased the king to send me.
Oh, hey, bro. So remember how we mentioned about what book was it prophesied about Xerxes? Well, if you look, Daniel and Nahum, according to this deluxe then and out Bible maps, it states that Daniel and Nahum for a short period of time were contemporaries. So the restoration of the temple being rebuilt, Daniel was on the scene at the latter end. You know, so if you look at it, it would go Jonah, which was Nineveh, which is Assyria, Amos, Hosea, which is why Ephraim was getting on. Hosea was getting on Ephraim because this is before they were exiled under the Assyrian captivity.
Right.
And then after Hosea came Isaiah, which was the Assyrian captivity, which caused the northern kingdom to say, we're going to go to a land where no mankind dwelt, which is why 2nd Ezra 13 is so important in the Apocrypha to prove that taking place, right? And then from there, after Isaiah, you had Micah, and then within that, you had Obadiah, and then you had Lamentations, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, Nahum, Zephaniah, Jeremiah, Habakkuk, Daniel, and Ezekiel. So it's all, you know, it all.
That's edifying.
Yeah.
Right there. That's history.
Oh, it says Cyrus allows Jews to return from exile 538.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
So, you know, you give or take the actual, you know, so don't quote me verbatim. This is just a rough copy that I bought that they're stating. So of
Right.
course, if we did our due diligence, we could get the dates and the this and the chronological. You can probably even use AI to do that. You know.
Right.
So let's keep going. But this is our history.
Right.
All right. So fill all that in for
Right.
fucking February.
And exactly.
Dr. Umar.
Exactly. They didn't teach us that in school. All they taught was chattel slavery and MLK.
Right. Well, Omar secretly has mayonnaise on his elbow.
Back in Nehemiah 2, Nehemiah 2 and verse 6. So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time. Moreover, I said unto the king, if it please the king, let letters be given me to the governors.
Boom, legal.
Right.
Legal. Legally give me letters that I can give to these government officials.
Right.
Legal.
.gov.
You're right. Right. Their .god is .gov.
Right.
That's Babylon's God is .gov.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's it's not GOV, it's GOD.
Mm-hmm.
You know me, you down with GOV.
Right. That's dirty, right? That's dirty.
Serious. Because a lot of Jake is still on .com. It's a different world where you enter .gov. That's a different world, man.
Mm-hmm. And it reads, verse 7, let letters be given me to the governors beyond the river, that they...
So beyond this legal providence where I'm bound or protected by law,
Right.
I'm going to now step out of your providence. But when I enter this one and these officials meet me, I'll have a letter officially from the king or the president of this company.
Right.
Do you know what happens when you have your resume given to the president of the company and how HR handles you after that? Oh, it's a different world. You know, the Lord blessed me to meet with a president of a company through associates applying wisdom, handed him my resume, and then he handed that resume to his head HR department, who then immediately got me in to 2 interviews in one day, and then they offered me the job. So Brakatei how about Shimei Shai by Shimmer Kakwadash through the president,
That's
and
amazing.
they all said, how do you know him? So I was texting him. We were texting. How do you know him? Oh my God! You know. So
What's the scripture that says you shall sit
before?
with
Yeah,
kings? You know.
yeah. A president is a king. He's a literal president of this multi-million-dollar company. So how the hell did how did this random nigga get in here?
Right. Right.
I'm so thankful, bro.
Come on, man.
I had to get out the big house, bro.
Yep.
Shit was vexing.
Yeah.
You know?
About turning into Django.
Shit. Dealing with evil Stevie.
Man.
You know?
Back in Nehemiah 2 and verse 7, it says, let letters be given me to the governors beyond the river.
Give me that letter of recognition. You know, you get that letter of recommendation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You get a letter of recommendation. That movie ATL, wasn't all he wanted was the letter of recommendation?
Yeah.
From, was it who was it? Kenneth Davids?
Yeah, the Jake, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it him?
Yeah.
And his daughter was Nunu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Her light bright ass. What she was with Nip, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the movie ATL, he constantly was putting on a role to get a letter of recommendation for a college,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
See? See how important it is? Like it says, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
That's right.
It don't matter if you know all the scriptures, but does the Lord know you? Matthew 7. I never knew you.
Yeah.
So it don't matter you know all this front and back and front, and precept, and burned down Harlem, and danced and sung in the fucking rain,
Yeah.
and wore fringes everywhere you went.
Yeah, bro.
Does Yahweh Shemel Shai know you? That's why Apostle Paul told that to the brothers in Galatians 3. Like, but is it compared to righteousness with the Father?
Mm-hmm.
So if the Lord don't know you, Yahweh Shai don't know you, that don't mean nada. It don't mean nothing, man.
Right.
It's not what you know, it's what you could prove.
Right.
And what you could prove is also through who you know.
Truly. And it reads that verse 7, that they may convey me over till I come into Judah. And a
See,
letter...
they may convey me. So now we're finding out there was a social system of highways or king highways, like the Silk Road. So when I go on this road, I'll be protected by law. So a nation like Ishmael will not rob me, because if I survive, the proper channels will be taken and this king will issue a military attack on these people, and they're not going to want that. So now when you got a protection by the police or the king on your travels getting to where you need to get, you ain't got to be worried about getting pulled over or robbed. That's why people put Mason stickers on their car, or certain police departments, because those let people know on the road you're protected.
Yeah.
Certain Jakes will say, I'm traveling.
Yeah.
There's certain words they use. See, this is deep, but it's not. What you're learning is how to conduct yourself professionally.
Yeah.
In a professional priesthood. And when you look at the priesthood, it was professional. You couldn't get the wrong incense. And Ezekiel said you couldn't even sweat. I'm sweating right now.
Right, exactly, man.
Shit, what you think? You think I got this here because I want a fucking North Carolina? Nigga, it's hot. So there's certain customs, things that we had to do to the T. Just like in a courtroom. You better start respecting this, man. This ain't just black Israelites. This is for real. This is law. This is law forever. Yo, woman, I want to get married. Okay, well, what if our marriage lasts longer than New York State? What that mean?
Right.
See, we got covenants that are better even for y'all, man. Y'all know y'all be good under forever. Yes, you'll be good. You'll be good. That's why women, they call them certain terms, but these women know they're financially stable because of this man's legacy.
Yep. Nehemiah 2 and verse 8, and a letter unto Asaph, the keeper of the king's forest.
Wow.
That he may give me timber to make beams for the gates.
So now I'm getting financial aid to get timber from Asaph. So now I'm going to you. Here you go. Here you go, sir. Now, I mean, need all that wood.
Right,
and now you do it under the king. Like when you go to a job and there's a business meeting, say there's a cafe, and you're having a business meeting with a partner you may want to invest with, you now open up your tab so you serve them free lunch.
Yep.
And then your department that you work for covers that on the back end.
There you go.
See? So there's power. All right? This thing ain't just about, yo, I'm rapping.
Right.
The fuck? It's bigger than that. This is business, man.
Being professional.
Being
man.
professional. This is a legacy being laid right here.
Real,
Keep
man.
going. Because when you look at Jake and everything that we're talking about, and then after that, he's like, all right, y'all, let's go to the Hebrew Israelite wrestling show. Like,
Right.
what?
All that just went out the window now.
Nigga, we can watch WWF if you want to do that. Like, what are you doing? We over here supposed to be building, and you doing Levitical leg drops. Come on, man. Shout out to Hulk. Keep going.
And it says, Nehemiah 2 and 8, that he may give me timber
Yep.
to make beams for the gates of the palace.
I need specific timber or lumber, so now I get to have government funding.
Right.
That's
There you
government,
go.
because you know what?
Yeah.
The government funded, Herod helped us. Or Herod, that terrible, he helped build a certain wall, west and east wall, to push a further political acceptance amongst Israel. So it's like certain Jakes will want to be a part of the Hebrew Israelite thing, so they can get a more acceptance amongst the people. You know? No, you ain't but to buy my acceptance. I didn't give a fuck when Kodak Black said he was an Israelite.
Right.
Everybody else lost their mind. And then when Kendrick Lamar, then the nigga a year later had a crystallized a head of thorns talking about women's rights, crisis blights. I don't remember what the nigga said.
Yeah, with blood
dripping
down his face.
And IUIC lost it.
That was demonic ritual right in front of y'all faces.
See? So you gotta watch who wants to buy in to your legacy, your family rights. But anyways, on this example, this is righteous because we're having government funded, and the Lord is using, like, we're gonna have government funded in the establishment of the kingdom through Isaiah 60. The forces of the Gentiles, you know, the goal, everything. You're gonna set up certain people to have businesses where you get your frankincense from, your certain incense that you have for ceremony. Certain people that are flocks, shepherds, sheeps. All that's business.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
It reminds me of how in King Solomon's kingdom, he gave like 12
of his men.
The water.
Each moon for the Sabbath.
Yes.
Yeah.
And every time he commanded that they had to get everything ready for that provision.
Through their servants.
Right.
So it's like that's your job.
Right.
But now you're gonna use 200 of your servants to host a dinner for brothers coming over. And it happens to be the new moon.
Right.
So now you set the order out, do whatever you do. You might make a sun before the sun go down. You know what I'm saying? You might want to have 100 sons till your 100 son turns 100.
Yeah, bro.
So, and then you delegate. You might prefer Elam's curry or whatever it's called. You might like how Isaac preferred Esau's venison. That was his taste. So then you set this up, you delegate it, and then it takes place. They set the table, they clear the table, the dishes are clean, food is taken, everything's handled. Then you legally allow leftovers, you know?
Man, that's beautiful.
See, it's business. Don't Jake go through that today?
Yeah.
Everything we're talking about is what we deal with.
Yeah.
All right, brothers? You've been a janitor, you've been a cook, you've been a dishwasher. Now, what do we say? Flip it. Flip it. So you over here scrubbing this shit, like, yeah, watch when I get your ass in here.
All right.
And it ain't gonna be porcelain, okay? It ain't gonna be porcelain.
All right, bro. It's ranking systems.
Right.
You know, like every empire has that. You know, so how much more our empire?
You gotta imagine.
Come on, man.
What did El Pastor Gabar say? You gotta have vision.
Gotta have that imagination.
And where you have imagination, where the people don't have a vision, they perish.
There you go.
You will perish if you don't think about the kingdom.
Yeah. That's right, man.
You know?
Back in Nehemiah 2 and verse 8, it says that he may give me timber to make beams for the gates of the palace,
This is fire.
which appertain to the house.
In Isaiah 60, it says, for wood, gold,
Yeah, man.
for brass,
Yeah.
copper,
Yeah,
you know? And then we're gonna have man beasts serving us too.
yeah.
You brothers better get used to seeing men and women in servitude. Because every heathen woman ain't gonna be a concubine, bro. Okay? And even that, a heathen woman being a concubine will be a legacy for her family. You know? Because their daughter has been accepted by King Kratazah. All right? And then you make a league with them where now I want you to make more of them.
Right.
So, you know?
Yeah.
Because now I want to give some out to my brothers.
Right.
Or present this to my sons.
Right.
See? It's all business.
Spread the wealth.
It's all
You know?
There was a time where Moab was going to give Esau 1 million virgin Moabite women. 1 million virgin Moabite women?
Yep.
There was a time where North Korea accepted an X amount of Volkswagens from Australia,
Oh, wow.
and then they never fucking paid them.
Oh, shit.
See? So these are look at how nations are having war relations with each other. You got to understand that, man. Slavery is the employment aspect of the kingdom.
Yeah.
We're also talking about how the business is going to run within the slavery.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You're going to go from oh shut to oh shit.
Right. Back in Nehemiah 2 and 8, it says, and for the wall of the city and for the house that I shall enter into, and the king granted me according to the good hand of my God upon me.
Wow, so he gave him
Man.
the material like in construction. So if we had to go build the wall, we were in Nehemiah, like you said, you like building. So now you would have the proper tools. And at Exodus, it spoke about how certain men were blessed with the spirit to build.
Yeah.
So you had to have the spirit on you to build.
Yeah.
You know? What is that? Exodus 32?
I believe so. Yes, I believe so.
Can you read that? Just give me a second. Can you read that?
Yes. Nehemiah 2 and verse 8. That he may give me timber to make beams for the gates of the palace.
Got it. Check this out, brothers. You gotta have a spirit on you to build.
Yeah.
Okay?
For real.
This is Exodus 31 and 3. It says, and I have filled him, I'll start at 2. It says, see, I have called by name Bezaleel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. And I have filled him with the spirit of Yahweh in wisdom and in understanding and in knowledge and in all manner of workmanship to devise cunning works, to work in gold and silver and in brass and in cutting of stones, to set them in a carving of timber, to work in all manner of workmanship. So we're going to be able to create, we're going to be able to have the imagination or wisdom to create structures for ourselves that man has not been able to articulate or architect.
That's amazing.
Like if you look at ancient Japanese woodworking, it's probably the best woodwork I've ever seen. You got to look in. They use no nails. Everything's like tongue and groove. You know tongue and groove, right? So it's tongue and groove, and then they use like a pin to keep the tongue and groove. So it's like this is tongue, this is groove. You put it in, and then there's a pin that holds it all together.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? But it's all wood.
That sounds so simple, but so
Intricate.
Yeah.
And it looks good too.
Man.
You know what I mean? So we're gonna incline the heathen. You better make it like this. You know?
Man.
Make it like that. Have it like this.
Man. I'm imagining it right now.
Exactly.
Man.
Me too. I love carpentry. Like the way wood gets chiseled and then it's overlaid.
Yeah.
You know?
That's nice, man.
So
man.
that's coming. that's coming for the kingdom. And since that's nice, let me get this Isaiah 60 prescription for you.
Beautiful.
This is Isaiah 60. So we're going to have resources. Don't think for a second there ain't going to be no plastic. We're going to have resources in our kingdom, brothers. Okay? This is Isaiah 60 and 17. For brass, I will bring gold. Who's going to bring it? Heathen.
Right.
And for iron, I will bring silver. Who's going to bring it? Heathen. And for wood, brass, and for stones, iron, I will also make thy officers peace and thy exactors righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders, but thou shalt call thy walls salvation and thy gates praise. Like how America at one point in time, it was like, all I got to do is get to America, and we're fucking good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. They're all done.
Yeah.
They thought it was a land filled, what is it? A land
Paved with gold.
paved with gold. No, that's Yasharallah. All right?
I got something for you.
All right.
Just to land back
Tobit.
in my precept. Yeah, there you go. Tobit 13 and verse 15. Let my soul bless the Most High, the great King.
Right.
For Jerusalem shall be built up with sapphires and emeralds and precious stone. And that's the stones in the ephod.
Yep.
You know?
And when you think about it, a lot of heathens today that do jewelry, stone cutting, it comes out of like Turkey.
Yeah.
Ishmael,
Yeah.
Elam, they handle a lot of gold.
Yeah.
A lot of gold comes from those foreign lands because Esau damn deprived America of it.
Yeah.
Gold was so good here that Solomon sent Hiram here for gold.
Yeah.
And then Esau having more than heart could wish.
Yep.
You know, so these heathens already possess a spirit of building, carpentry, jewelry, garments, you know?
Yeah, bro. And it says, that's why it says in 2nd Esdras that the war is made for our sakes.
Yeah.
But so are the heathen.
Yep.
They're made for us.
Yep.
You know, because Israel the chosen people.
Exactly.
So why would the Lord's people not be attended to?
That's why it says
it makes sense.
they begun to be lords over us.
There you-
If the world now be made for our sakes, you know, why they ain't checked yet?
Right. Why the heathen over us? Come on.
Just because prophecy.
Yeah.
I'm applying serenity.
Serenity.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Trinity, help.
Yeah. And that's the real thing. Like how they say, man, not just let them take a walk, cool off.
You gotta.
That's a real thing.
You gotta let your Israelite manhood conduct itself the way you need it.
Yeah.
What you gotta find out what makes you calm down. What works for you. You gotta learn you. You learning who you are. What did Jackie Chan say? Who am I?
Yeah.
That was a movie. We had spiritual amnesia.
Yeah.
We woke up naked.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Where am I?
Right.
What am I? Who are you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm white. And you're light skinned.
Yeah.
I am? Yeah. And here's a job. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and here's God. Look at here, God. Look at God.
Look at it.
God looks familiar, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's God. You know? And what am I? You see those trees? You swing for those. We drive cars.
Damn.
You see? You in a big house. You in a field. See, you look and realize, look at all the indoctrination you received growing up that you now are washing away. Like, holy shit, man. I really didn't care if God was black or white. I just believed in God. And he had capitalized off of your ignorance in those business meetings.
Damn, man.
But now we got proper representation. See?
Back in Tobit 13 and verse 16, for Jerusalem shall be built up with sapphires and emeralds and precious stones, thy walls and towers and battlements with pure gold.
Which battlements is like when you see at a castle, it looks like a Lego.
Yes, yeah.
But that was for the archers to hide in. But we ain't gonna need war. But it's still gonna have the representation of a rulership.
Right.
You know? So it's like the mere fact that we had, like, I'll tell you something. Do you know in castles in the medieval time, do you know why they only go up one way? Meaning they only go up to the right. Meaning when you go up, it always, do you know why? Because if your castle was attacked and your opponent was coming in, it was hard for them to swing to the right to cut you.
Oh,
so the castle is specifically architecturally created so you could go to war in it too if you had to. That's why they would have the trench,
right? Well,
and the water. So if you got attacked, that's why they call it storming the castle.
Right.
See? So
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like chess has the battlements.
Yeah, the rook.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a perfect
okay.
example. The rook. See, that's your
That
castle.
makes sense.
You know.
Oh, then you castle.
Yeah, and then you castle because then
Right.
you hide.
Right.
So it's like you going up the stairs.
Right.
So now you're being protected in this battlement, which is the stairs going up.
Right.
And it was constructed in a way because majority of people were right-handed.
Right.
So they're probably like, watch out for left-hand dom. You know what I'm saying? You know, like the dominant left-hand slayer.
Yeah.
That's how they'll get their name because he might have been born left-handed and he could, you know, like certain like Troy, fucking Achilles, you know, the rumors.
Yeah.
So certain Jakes had legacies because their certain attributes were opposite to norms. You know?
It reminds me of Ehud.
Right.
The left-handed.
The left-handed
Benjamite.
Yep. Yep.
You know?
Keep going.
Back in Tobit 13 and 17, it says, "And the streets of Jerusalem shall be paved with beryl."
So now you don't gotta worry about it being paved with this toxic chemical called tar.
Yeah.
You know, probably in your Teflon pan too.
Yeah.
So now look at the street and imagine it. I imagine it as how bricks would. You know, I want gold bricks laid.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the ancient 1900s, a lot of streets were brick.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So imagine gold bricks. You know?
Man.
But Jake right now is all white bricks. That's the cursive.
Man.
See, Jake's over here rapping about all white bricks. We're here prophesizing about gold bricks.
Yeah.
So what you want, man? You want Micah Allah or Mike Tyson? Shit, you already see what happened to Mike Jackson. You know, no offense to anybody that like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And it says, Jerusalem shall be paved with beryl and carbuncle
Stones.
and stones of Ophir.
Gold.
And all, sorry.
Oh, no, you got it.
Right, gold.
Right, I think gold. Or the stones from Ophir. Keep going.
And all her streets shall say hallelujah.
There's gonna be a vibration. There's gonna be a spiritual frequency. Like in Cleveland, Ohio, near the Hard Rock Cafe Museum, they have music playing constantly on the like street lights.
Oh wow.
So imagine, like you ever see those singing bowls?
Yeah.
Like imagine as you're walking. If you decide to walk. If we have our wives with us who don't even want to put their feet on the ground of gold, you know, and we're gonna pamper our people too.
Oh yeah.
Our women are gonna be pampered, loved, and embraced. Our children's children, and we're gonna have servants for all offices.
Yes, bro.
All offices.
Even nature, animals, trees.
Good point.
Everything is gonna be perfect.
That's why in Exodus it said a dog won't even bark at you.
There you go.
Because the Lord was setting a difference during the last plague to show you the Lord is only dealing with Egypt. That's what I'm saying. When you really read the Bible, people are missing this this separation that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was doing just that.
Right.
Separating his people from you.
Right.
And you want to fucking talk about equality?
Right.
You ever heard of a hierarchy?
Right.
Ain't no equality over here. You know?
The Lord is only solely dealing with Israel, bro.
Right.
That's it. No other nation. The scriptures constantly repeat that. You know? And it reads one more line. It says, "Blessed be the power which hath extolled it forever."
Perfect.
That's it.
Now let's go back to Nehemiah and jump to 17.
Back in Nehemiah 2 and verse 17.
And we pray brothers and sisters are being edified and built up in your nationality in the spirit, you know?
Back in Nehemiah 2 and 17, "Then said I unto them, Ye see the distress that we are in."
See, so that what the brother read in Tobit, that's going to be the kingdom.
Right.
So here on earth in times past, we've attempted this rebuilding, but we're not going to get that specific design of that kingdom until we're restored in the land.
Right.
And the enemy's defeated. Amalek, the bastard in Ashdod, and Edomite, the bastards here in Babylon.
Yeah.
They got to go down through the Third World War after the mandatory marking of the sea hip. Then after those take place, these necessary prophecies will come to pass. So as close we are to the mark, as close we are to the World War III, as close we are as walking with gold under our feet. You know?
And speaking of the mark, they just passed the Genius Act.
The Genius Act, which officializes the stable coin for digital currency according to the dollar, the digital dollar standard.
That's right.
So we need all that.
That's right, bro. We live in a digital age, like you stated earlier.
Yeah.
So everything is coming to a climax.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
And it says back in Nehemiah 2 and 17.
But as close as Jacob's trouble is as close as Jacob's peace.
Yeah. Yep.
As close as Jacob's trouble's coming, as close as Jacob's peace is coming.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's right, bro. Before you get to, like you said, peace, you got to go through war.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why we're being built up right now to get ready to look death in its eyes.
Yeah, right.
And to see death in the street and accept the Lord's will in that day. Because everybody's going to be tried. You're going to be tried by the mark of the beast. You know what I mean? And you're going to have to battle that. It's going to be a spiritual battle too, and you're going to have to deny it.
Yeah, bro.
You're going to have to deny it. You're going to probably be calling on the name of the Lord a lot out loud.
Yeah.
You know, because now you be in your head. You might, outside. That's why we need Micah Allah.
Right, bro.
That's why Yahushua said he'll save us from the hour of temptation.
Yeah.
So this is why all this matters now. So when that court case is presided, we're defended.
Man.
Because it's going to be exile or death, you know?
Yeah. Back in Nehemiah 2 and 17.
The water. Just because we can pretty much wrap it on that. Did you have a precept you wanted to bring out?
I was going to get out what you said about Rev, our temptation.
Okay. Just we'll go into this, and if we need to, we can read that at the end for some comfort.
Nehemiah 2 and 17, it says, ye see the distress that we are in, how Jerusalem lieth waste.
Yeah, y'all see our poverty. What he say? This ain't living.
Yeah.
It make me want to holler.
Yeah.
Throw up my hands.
Mm-hmm.
You go through that. You really go through that. But now we're tapping into serenity. But we have the right of that zeal. Like, this is some bullshit, but we got the answers to it. See, we're surrounded by people that think this is forever.
Yeah.
They think this is going to be a continual, stereotypical type of people we're going to be forever. Fuck you.
Hell no.
Fuck you. Man, vain by nature. Who told you to lean on your own dumbass understanding that think we just going to be like this?
Forever?
Dumbass.
Be a what? Be a byword forever?
Prophecy is the ace in our pocket. You know?
Yeah.
Prophecy is that ace as you going to poker.
It's that buzzer beater.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
You didn't expect that.
Man. Off the backboard. Come on. Back in Nehemiah 2 and 17, it says, how Jerusalem lieth waste, and the gates thereof are...
It's like the game-winning layup that Meta World Peace made in the championship when Kobe passed him the ball.
Oh, the 3-point. Yeah.
It was a 3?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See?
He said, Kobe passed me the ball.
But the point is, no one would expect Meta World Peace to be the game winner because Kobe is the mainstream biblical narrative per se.
Right.
So it's like the underdog, yeah, but the Lord works in those places.
Right.
The weak of this world. That's what makes it better. The Lord built up Pharaoh to the height just to throw him down.
Damn.
That's how the Lord works.
So what makes America any different? Come on, man.
Yeah, or any better.
Right. There you go.
They said, make America safe again. Yes, massa.
And it reads, verse 17, and the gates thereof are burned with fire. Come and let us build up the wall of Jerusalem, that we be no more a reproach. Then I told them of the hand of my God, which was good upon me.
Yeah, because the gate also symbolized like our court rulings, legal representations, official dealings. That's why the gate was kind of a place of public gatherings.
Right.
So if our gates are through, what's that mean for the inhabitants within?
Right.
So it's like building the gate up is re-establishing our rulership.
Right.
You know? That's why it says go to the gates of the noble.
Right.
You know? That don't mean Bill Gates.
Right.
Keep going.
And it says, verse 18, as also the king's words, verse 18, then I told them of the hand of my power, which was good upon me, as also the king's words that he has spoken unto me. And they said, let us rise up and build. So they strengthened their hands for this good work.
See, they got ready. They got themselves prepared to build. Had ladders, nothing new under the sun. They had tools. How'd Noah build an ark?
Right.
You know? Keep going.
But when Salabut the Horonite...
Yeah, Salabut the Horonite is a Moabite. Keep going.
And Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite.
So look at, who is that? Who is the father of Ammon and Moab? Lot. Now Lot is the nephew of Abraham through, I think, Abraham's brother Nahor or something. It's a simple Google. Yeah. We're just going through genealogy, but it's a simple Google. You can put the correction, all right? But the point is, these children that come from Lot, They now are in that region through their ancestral right of Lot, but they didn't fall under the covenantal rights of Abraham's grandson Isaac to Jacob.
Right.
So Lot, so that's why in Deuteronomy 23 it says Moab and Ammon can't enter into the congregation, but just Lot can, because Lot came back as an Israelite. Lot and Abraham will be in the kingdom of heaven on earth as Israelites.
Right.
And it makes sense.
It does.
If you don't want it or then you got spiritual beef with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you just some nigga in America that needs to take a shower. You're disgruntled, okay?
Yeah.
And we're speaking on spiritual matters while you're surrounded in chains of darkness.
Yeah.
Jake sometimes need to just shut the fuck up, relax, and accept the spiritual arrangement Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Kakwadash has made.
Yeah.
That's it. You know?
Right.
Some nigga with a dirty keyboard got a problem with it.
But you could be in the kingdom. Why are you tripping?
Because he's cursed with demons.
Yeah.
So the point is, going back to ancestry, see how the Lord had to solidify why Ammon and Moab wasn't in the covenant? Because the Lord had to cover all his tracks. Nope, this covenant's only for Israel. That's why the old was specifically for Israel. That's why he separated them and he made them to make a covenant by blood. And then this is why Yahushua came. Then he separated them and he made a covenant by blood.
Right.
So these nations that thought, well, I'm from Abraham.
Right.
I'm from Lot.
Right.
They're like, Deuteronomy 23, you can't get in. Nigga at the door with General Tso chicken. Get out. With MSG, is that what it is?
Yeah, MSG.
No, you're not getting in with your MSG, nigga. You know? So they don't get rights to covenantal agreements with us, even though they come from Lot. Hence why Apostle Paul's letters kept reiterating from Abraham's seed as one, because it was a question. Well, I'm Lot. I'm Abraham. I'm Shem.
Right.
See?
And it reads, Nehemiah 2 and verse, what's my place?
17?
Yes,
18?
18, the water.
So this is about dominion. They're like, oh shit, Jake's coming back to rebuild.
Oh, 19.
Now we got to close up our 5-star restaurant.
Right.
You know?
Nehemiah 2 and 19.
Because it's all political. Land is power. What's real wealth? Land,
Yeah.
cattle, substance, servant.
Yeah.
That's real wealth, biblically.
Yeah. Nehemiah 2 and 19, excuse me. But when Salabut the Horonite and Tobiah the servant and Ammonite,
Yep, sons of Lot.
and Geshem the Arabian heard it.
And they say Geshem could have been Edomite, but I didn't do further studies on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it says Arabian, so either he's a Edomite or an Ishmaelite, but it's still a bad combo.
Right.
And either way,
Right.
if he's Ishmael, the Lord already told us in Genesis 17 and 19 that Ishmael is disregarded.
Yep.
And he's a son of Abraham, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it reads, and it says, they laughed us to scorn.
See? They laughing at us, mocking us. That's the relationship people have right now. That's why people drive by, look, honey, look at them. And they're nobodies. You don't know, you got people that you deal with, they're gonna be the fucking, they're gonna be on shit duty in the kingdom. You know?
Mm-hmm. Literally.
You probably won't even see them.
Literally, bro.
You know, in the medieval times, certain people were put away in prisons and dungeons to be forgotten, literally.
Damn.
Then they could.
I'm sorry, Salaki.
No. And then they constructed it in a way that you wouldn't even hear them scream or moan for starvation.
Oh, shit.
So you don't even know where the fuck he at.
Damn.
Like in the movie Waterworld, you ever see that with Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
When Kevin Costner destroyed that main ship, remember he sent that fire down to that oil drum, and the only guy was there was some old Edomite man slaving. What he said, thank God.
Yep.
Because he finally died. Because he was just down there slaving.
Yep.
John the Revelator, Island Patmos, the salt mines.
Yep.
You know?
Damn. And it reads, verse 19, and despised us and said, what is this thing that ye do?
Got a problem.
Will ye rebel against the king?
So why you ain't rapping? Huh? Are you going to do it now? You going to slave us now?
Yep.
See, that's how the heathen react to you restoring yourself.
Yeah.
This is how the reaction of the heathens round about us react to us betterfying ourselves. And even our own people. Look at it. You think you better.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
no, I'm just trying to get right. You've all
bro.
experienced it in one way or another. backbiters,
Yeah.
whisperers. You joined the cult. But no one cares what Epstein's doing.
Right.
No one cares what Nero was doing. No one cares. These people expose themselves, man. Just keep letting them expose themselves.
Yep.
Hit that spiritual back step cross dribble.
Real though.
Life's a game, right? Well, sometimes you gotta call a timeout.
Got to.
Let's keep going.
And it reads, verse 20. Then answered I them and said unto them,
That's what I said to them.
the God of heaven, he will prosper us. Therefore, we his servants will arise and build.
Like they say, are you gonna kill white babies? Hey, we're just reading what the Bible says.
Right.
See, you gotta flip it. When they try to put it on you, well, can I bring this scripture into case at law?
And you right.
Boom. Now what?
Yeah, you can. Just like years ago when with that jump shot at one of my old job.
My bad. Now you got it, bro.
And in order for me not to take that jump shot, I had to request the exemption form, and I requested it, and I had to write down a reason why I couldn't take it, and I wrote down Leviticus, was that 27 about not getting marks inside your flesh, and they said okay because legally they can't say I'm lying, which I wasn't lying.
Federally.
Right, federally. So according to that form, I was clear. I was exempt.
So you had a letter of exemption through the king.
There you go.
So that proves right there. And they had the proper HR department to catch that so their company wouldn't be in violation of OSHA, New York labor law, or even EEOC, which is racial or religious discrimination, which now makes it a federal case.
Yeah.
Whoa!
So it's like,
so Domino's telling you to shave, you could sue.
Yeah.
Tell your mother to shave. Let's finish, y'all. I'm about to wrap it up.
Back in Nehemiah 2:20, it says, the God of heaven, Yahweh Shema Shai, he will prosper us. Therefore we, his servants, will arise and build, but ye have no portion, nor right, nor memorial in Jerusalem.
Boom. Why? Why? Because they're from Lot. So Nehemiah, they knew, according to Deuteronomy 23, that these sons of Lot can't enter in.
Right.
Just like we tell you now, if you ain't an Israelite, you can't get in. And even if you are an Israelite, you still can't get in. That's how heavy this truth is. So that's edifying to me. What are you grabbing, brother?
Deuteronomy 23.
Okay, yeah, prove it. So he said by right. He said by right you can't enter in.
Right. This is the book of Deuteronomy 23. And
so now that's Lot and Moab. Boom, y'all done. Which Moab might have the largest population. You can't get in. Edomites, you're done. You can't get in. What nation next do you heathens want to try to bring to the table of acceptance?
Yeah.
Who you want to bring next? Because that's the main. And then Ishmael. Shit, Ishmael's over here making millions off beef patties from fucking Costco's.
Yeah.
You know? That nigga ain't giving a shit. Brother. You know, he don't care. So wouldn't... Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Go.
I'm sorry.
Go.
I'm just being frank.
Go.
For you, $5. I'm sorry. I'm bad.
But you see how edifying, how quickly we cut that? Boom, Moab wrong. Boom, Lot wrong. Boom, Edom wrong. And then when you are allowed in, it's not to being of the covenant. That's so you would be allowed to be as a servant, taskmaster, or maid according to Deuteronomy 20:8. So look at how the laws protect everything.
Man.
It's all right in there. It's all right in there.
Come on. Deuteronomy 23:3. It says, an Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever. And the precept right here, it gives us Nehemiah 13 from verse 1 to verse 2.
See that? So we're being inspired to go to precepts that even scriptural scholars are writing down in a mass printing form as truth. So right there shows you that the children of Lot ain't getting in. Okay, you're not getting in. The best you got is going to America. Was that it on Nehemiah? We're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, that was it. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna end it there. So understand the ancestral rights that Israel has compared to next of kin. That's why it's a blessing for a woman to be married in.
Right.
You know? But yeah, we're gonna end it there. The covenants are only for the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel alone. Salvation's only for the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel alone. So out in Ratazah, you brothers and you few sincere sisters of the household of faith were edified, comforted with the scriptures through the Holy Spirit as we were. And we just want to say, Kal Halah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakodash. Double honors to our elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. With that being said, Shalom.